Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey y'all. It's been like a minute since I recorded the video or uploaded the video. A little, like a week or two ago, I downloaded, what was the name of the app? Cut, I think the name of it was. And I messed around with that, trying to figure out how to edit, and I haven't worked on it since that night I made those videos and uploaded them. But I think I'm gonna soon make something else with it. I'm gonna try anyway. I wonder how long of videos I can make with that thing. I wonder if they can be like 10 minutes long or something, or if they're only like a minute long. I don't know. But that's not the point of this video. I found a stick, swinging it around. That's also not the point of the video. I made this video to talk about Chucky, because I've been kind of going through a Chucky phase. During the end of like October, I was going through a Halloween phase, you can tell. Now I'm going through a Chucky phase. I want to finish the TV show, but I don't have regular television no more. I don't have cable, I don't have that, so I can't watch it that way. I don't know what streaming service it's on, and it's probably on one that you got to pay for. So my best bet is to get the DVDs, but I don't know where to get them. I got season 1 and I saw season 3 at Walmart, but I could not find the season 2 DVD at Walmart. Maybe it was there at some point, but they sold out. I don't know. When I start making good enough money, I can maybe order them online. But that's not the point. The point is, I've been going through a Chucky phase, and I'm just curious where the franchise is going to go. Because the show got abruptly canceled before its time, like most shows do. The network decided to cancel it because of budget reasons. So hopefully whatever storyline they didn't get to finish in the show, they can wrap up in the next movie. Because there is going to be another movie. It's in the works. So maybe they can finish whatever they didn't finish in the freaking show. But I have gotten some spoilers. Even though I haven't seen anything past season 1, like actual full-on episode-wise, I've been getting YouTube shorts where apparently Chucky is actually literally for real dying because he betrayed Dembala. And I don't know if that even gets resolved. They made it seem like that's truly going to be the end of Chucky. But again, I haven't seen the whole show. I've only seen those little snippets, so I can't make my whole judgment off that. Maybe by the end of season 3, he resolved that and made up with Dembala, and now he's going to be fine. Or maybe they were going to have that storyline finish in season 4, but it got canceled. So maybe the next movie is going to have old man dying Chucky, which would be interesting. And I don't know. Don Mancini's been making these since the 80s. And everyone who's working on these, been working on these movies since the 80s. Andy's actor, freaking Kyle's actor, Don Mancini himself, freaking crap, I can't remember Chucky's actor's name right now. Brad Dourif, that's his name. Brad Dourif has been Chucky since the beginning. Tiffany's been here since the 4th one, and Jennifer Tilly is getting up there. She still looks good for her age. I'll give her that. She looks good. But basically all the big name people that are a part of this franchise, that if we ever lose them, that's it. It's getting up there in the years. The franchise is over 40, almost 40. Is it over 40? 88, 98, it's 10, I think, 30. Okay, no, it's not 40 yet, but it's getting there. I don't know how many more of these they can make. I'm not saying the next movie should wrap up the story for good and put a cap on it. But I'm saying maybe at least bring some closure to all these characters that soon the actors won't be here no more. Like Brad Dourif. Oh man, I don't know how old Brad Dourif is, but he's been doing this since the 80s, so he's got to be up there. After he's gone, I guess they can use a sound-alike actor or God forbid they use AI to mimic his voice, but I hope they don't do that. And I don't think Don Mancini would let that happen, so they're probably going to get a sound alike. But every other character, I mean, maybe they could continue with Tiffany. Again, because we got human her in Jennifer Tilly's body, and then we have doll her in the show. I don't know how that happened, because in the end of Seed of Chucky, they switched. But she was still talking to Glenn, as she was dying, quote unquote dying. So, I don't know, Seed of Chucky is a mess. But did Tiffany put her soul back into the doll? Because this was before, Cult of Chucky established the splitting incantation. So she couldn't have just put her soul in both Jennifer Tilly and the doll. And besides, she said and switch, so I'm thinking Jennifer Tilly was in the doll. But then why was she talking to Glenn as if she was still Tiffany? I don't know. That's the end of that scene. The end of that movie's a mess. There's a reason why that's the least popular one in the whole franchise. Tied for least popular with 3. Regardless, we could have any character who's a possessed doll. We can have them continue with sound-alikes, but when Jennifer Tilly's gone, yeah. Andy's actor, he can keep going for another long time. He's only in his 30s. Pretty sure. Yeah, he's only in his 30s, so he can keep going. He's got plenty of time. And Brad Dourif's daughter, who plays Nika, she's young. She can keep going for a while, but her character, if you've seen the show, spoiler alert, she lost her arms, so I don't know how we're going to continue with her story-wise, unless somehow she gets her arms back, which maybe some supernatural voodoo spell can make her grow her arms back. I mean, this franchise can just do whatever they want and say it's voodoo. They already made the Chucky split itself, so just make shit up, But I don't know. But my point is, her actress is still young, so they can keep her for a while. Don Mancini himself is old, so should the franchise die when he goes? Or will he give it up to someone he trusts, like maybe a family member? I don't know if he has any kids. He's gay. He could adopt or have a surrogate mom. I don't even know if he's even married. He may not even be with no one, so I don't know who the Chucky property license could get given to when he's gone. I don't know. I'm both excited and worried about the future of this franchise. Franchises like freaking Halloween. Halloween's not a good example. Let me think. I guess Friday the 13th is a good one. Friday the 13th can go on well after its original creators are gone, because the original creators really were only involved with like the first movie or so. After that, it's like anyone can just take it and do whatever they want with it. But for Chucky, it's always been Don Mancini's baby. No one else should do Chucky. Of course that's not going to happen. It's a famous big property. It's going to keep being made till like forever, until it stops making money. It's a pop culture icon, so once Don Mancini is gone, it's going to keep being made. But I feel like it shouldn't, or at least the original continuity. Maybe Chucky, after Don Mancini dies, should get a reboot. And not like the freaking MGM 2019 one that I did see in theaters, and I liked it as a movie, but it didn't really feel too much like a Chucky movie. It's like Chucky not being possessed is so... I know Don Mancini originally didn't want Chucky to be possessed, but now that it's been established since the first movie and the franchise is kind of built on that, it feels like that needs to be a thing. It needs to be. So, the fact that Chucky is not possessed by a human soul and he's just alive because advanced technology and AI, I don't know. You can even call that alive. That's a whole other can of worms. I'm not making a video about AI. If they do a Chucky reboot after Don Mancini's passing, we got to get the original continuity a good wrap up before he goes. Like, wrap it all up in a nice little bow. And then after he passes away, whoever takes over after him can do a reboot and make it their continuity for the rest of their life until they die. And then vice versa. That's the way it should be done, I think. It's got to be someone who knows, loves, understands, and respects the IP. Not someone trying to make a quick buck. That's just a little rant. What was it? What else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah. I wonder what the next movie's going to be. You know, it's got to have something to do with the unfinished storylines from the TV show. So we might get Jake and the crew back. Andy is definitely going to be there. It's got to be. We're also got to get, we also got to get Tiffany and Jennifer Tilly's body back. And we got to get Nika back. So hopefully whatever wasn't resolved in the show can finally be wrapped up. The question is, will there be multiple Chuckies? Just like in Curse of Chucky and the show? Or will there not be multiple Chuckies anymore after that? Again, I haven't seen the end of the show, so I don't know if they wrapped up that plot. And the Chucky franchise isn't like other horror franchises, where it falls into a formula, and it's, for a lot of people, they think it gets boring after 2 or 3 times of seeing the same thing. Chucky isn't like that. Chucky, in the third one, they could tell it was starting to get stale, so they changed it up for the 4th. And then when the 5th one didn't work, time to change it up again. And then the 7th, they're always doing new stuff. So now that we've had one movie where there's multiple Chuckies, I would say we might get one more, because we got, Bride and Seed, which are both horror comedies. And then after that, they changed up again for the next one. So I would say we get 2 with multiple Chuckies and then scrap that and do something different, because then it'll start to get predictable. But since we have the show doing multiple Chuckies, it feels like the multiple Chuckies route might be, at its end. Because now the show kind of fills up the spot of a second movie. Hell, maybe 3 movies. And we had so many different Chucky variants. Again, I haven't seen past season 1. But I've seen YouTube shorts, so I've been a little spoiled. We got good Chucky, who's been accidentally brainwashed into being good. We got the buff Chucky, we got the bald Chucky, who's like a mob boss. We got Chuckies going against each other, it's crazy. And then we got the old Chucky that's dying because he fucked with Dembala. My question is, okay, before I get on to that point, I'm going to get back to my question about the next movie. What's it going to be? Are we going to have one Chucky, or are we going to have multiple? How is it going to tie everything up in a nice, neat little bow? And I hope I finish up the TV show before this next movie comes out. Because if there's going to be references from the show that I'm not going to get because I haven't seen all of it, I'm going to be pissed. So it means I'm going to have to wait on watching the next movie. What's it going to be called? So we've had the Child's Play 1 through 3. Then after that, it's been this of Chucky the whole time. Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky. So what's the next title? It's going to be... What could it be? Chucky. Something of Chucky. The Return of Chucky? That's a little generic. The Revenge of Chucky, that's also generic. We already have Curse of Chucky, so... The Chucky of Chuckies. That's a funny title. It depends on the tone of the movie, I guess. If it's going to be more serious or leaning more towards comedy. If we're going to go a little bit more comedy, The Chucky of Chuckies. That could be the next movie. All the different Chuckies. If this didn't get resolved in the show, again, I haven't seen anything past season 1. But if we get a bunch of different Chuckies that have all started beefing with each other, they all come together for a big final showdown fight to see who's the best Chucky. the winner will be titled the Chucky of Chuckies, meaning they are the Chucky of all time. I would love that. I like that idea. So that's one idea. But my question earlier, I said I would get back to after I finished with my point here. So Chucky, Curse of Chucky was a bait and switch. We thought it was a reboot. Chucky didn't have Stitch Face no more, and it wasn't referencing the earlier movies. We thought it wasn't a sequel. We thought it was a freaking reboot. But surprise, surprise, reveal of Stitch Face Chucky, and connecting us to what happened in the first one. He was Stitch Face Chucky. He just had makeup on, basically. So it's the same Chucky. So his original doll body in the 1 and 2, it got burned and blasted and fucked up at the end of 1, repaired in 2, then got completely fucked again at the end of 2. Then his blood dripped into a vat and got made into a new doll for 3. So that's the start of a new body. But it's still the main Chucky. You see what I'm getting at here? And then it got chopped up at the end and got stitched back together in Bride of Chucky in 4. So again, same Chucky, it's the same new body, right? Now we get a little iffy when it gets to Seed, because some people say it's the same doll from the end of the last one, taken right off the crime set and turned into a movie prop, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Others say it's a recreation, perfect replica, but then how is Glenn able to just bring him up when he says Ade Due Dembala awake? If it's not their body, how does that work? So it has to be the same dolls, right? Whatever. Let's just assume it is the same doll to make it make sense, make it not get too complicated here. So it's the same. Curse of Chucky, same one from the last one. They just covered up the stitches with, makeup. So now, in Cult of Chucky, after he learned how to switch himself, we have multiple Chuckies, but we see the original Stitch Face Chucky, now with a huge part of the head missing thanks to a gunshot, still alive and talking. So presumably that one's Chucky. That's the Chucky. That's the Chucky we've grown attached to since the first movie right there. And it's implied by Andy and Kyle in the show that it's been dealt with thanks to Kyle. So the Chucky we grew attached to is gone. You could say they're all the same. They're all Chucky. It's the same soul split into multiple people or multiple bodies, but it's all the same. So we didn't lose our guy that we've grown attached to since the first movie. It's still him. Well, each different Chucky develops their own, become their own person, and some turn on each other, like Buff Chucky and the Bald Chucky. And then we have the good Chucky. We have the different Chuckies, going against one another. It's like they're different. It's like they're different people, right? So my question is, did the original Chucky, the original main soul of Chucky, put himself into a non-Stitch Face doll and then put a piece of himself back into the original Stitch Face? Because if that was the real Chucky and we lost him, I'm sad, I'm pissed. I know it doesn't matter because all the Chuckies are still basically the same guy because it's a piece of his soul. But I don't know, it feels odd to me.
Wait to cross Bay at Wilshire.
Wilshire. I don't know. I'm hoping that the Chucky, I'm thinking the Chucky that went to the doctor and started going old looking because he betrayed Dembala, the one that was actually 9. I like to assume that's the real Chucky. That's what I like to assume, but I could be dead wrong, And I guess it doesn't matter, but it matters to me. Oh well. Oh, this isn't where I wanted to walk. I had a different walking route planned, and because I started recording a video, I wasn't thinking, and my brain went on autopilot. This is not where I originally wanted to walk, but it doesn't matter. I may make a Reddit post about this question. But at the end of Curse of Chucky, not the end with Andy, but the one before that, where he starts putting his soul into, I forget the girl's name, Nika's, niece. He started putting his soul into her, and it wasn't the special version that we get in the next movie. It was the original incantation. And it's implied in that, in the next movie that he did possess her and went killing people in her body, and one of them fought back and killed her. So she's dead. So he successfully, finally, transferred his soul out of the doll after 6 movies, which is funny because in the last movie, he said he didn't want to do that no more. He was fine with being the doll because fuck it. He liked the fame he grew being the killer doll. Which is another thing, like how I said, each movie, every few movies, they switch it up. Nothing stays the same for too long with Chucky. It's not a easy to repeat formula like other franchises. So I was thinking, oh damn, he doesn't want to become a human anymore. He just wants to stay the killer doll. That's going to spice it up and change it up. So I was like, yeah, but then he still put his soul in her. So it's like, oh, he didn't give it up? That confused me until the next movie where we have multiple Chuckies and there's a cult of Chucky. Now I'm like, okay, I was wondering why he went back on what he said at the end of 5. It's not like this series to do that. They don't go back on stuff. They stick to their guns, which I can respect. Other franchises do stuff and then backpedal because they change their mind. They're like, maybe that wasn't the best decision. Let's reel it back. And it's like, no, damn it. Stick to your fucking guns. I want to see where that would go. Like, unrelated, but Scott, I love you, man. Scott Coffin, I love you. I love FNAF, I really do. You should have kept William as British. You shouldn't have retconned him being British. Take notes from Don Mancini and stick to your guns, man. Stop backpedaling. Stop undoing stuff. That's neither here nor there. So my point is, he put his soul out of the Stitch face into the girl, and then somehow learned the split your soul incantation. So it's possible he put his soul into the girl, put his soul back into a doll again, and then put a piece of his soul back in the girl, and put another piece of his soul into the original Stitch face doll and sent it to Andy. This is me just pulling. What's the word? What's the expression I'm thinking of? Damn it, it's not coming to me. Pulling. What's the expression? Damn it, it's not coming to me right now. It's a stretch, basically. Pulling at loose ends? Is that the expression? I don't remember the expression right now. But basically, it's me pulling stuff out my butt to make myself feel better when it really doesn't matter. I think most people, maybe it's only me that gives a crap about the original Chucky. Because to everyone else, since it is the piece of his original soul in all these Chuckies, they're all him. It's not like they're all imposters. No, they're all still him. But I'm weird. It's weird. Fuck it. I want the original Chucky to still be intact. Unless the next movie is going to be the last movie for reals before Don Mancini retires or passes away. If he's going to keep writing these until he dies, if the next movie isn't the last one, whenever the last one does come, then you can actually officially really kill off the real Chucky, because then it's the end of the franchise. And the next one is going to be written by someone else, and it's going to be a reboot, like I said earlier in the video. If it's the end of the original continuity, yeah, it's fine to kill them off. That's just me thing, though. It's my personal thing. Like I said, I'm weird. Got autism. Who left these pumpkins out? It ain't Halloween no more. Yeah, I don't care. I like the fact that they're still out. Take that, Christmas. Getting your decorations put up early and then staying way too late. Well, now it's Halloween's turn. I've seen some people with their Halloween decorations still up, and you know what? More power to them. Yuck. Anyway, enough about that. So, but there's a problem with that theory that he hopped into the girl and hopped back into a doll. The split spell says that he can only transfer himself into copies of the same body, with an exception of Nika. Don't remember why. But like, if that's how it worked, then maybe he couldn't split himself back into the girl, unless the same exceptions that apply to Nika also apply to the girl for some reason. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say he hopped out of Stitchface body into the girl, hopped back into another doll that wasn't Stitchface, and then split his soul, one into Stitchface and one into the girl. And then the real Chucky we saw at some point in the show. I want to say the one that was hanging out with Jake and then got passed around and eventually landed with Junior. I was going to say that's the real one, but that one gets decapitated by freaking Tiffany in Jennifer Tilly's body and then left in the house as it explodes, so that one's gone. That means if that was the real Chucky, that means the real Chucky's dead there, so I like to think that probably wasn't the real one. That was just another Chucky copy clone. And the real Chucky is probably chilling somewhere with doll Tiffany and probably has no idea that Tiffany in Jennifer Tilly's body has confessed to the fact that it was Tiffany that ratted him out to the cops back in '88. Because that one Chucky knew after she told him when she cut his head off. But the other Chuckies didn't really know. They didn't know. So the information, that's another reason why I think it matters that the original Chucky is still around and that they do count as like different people. If they're all the same person, the same soul, then how come one Chucky can hear something and then the other Chuckies don't? Like if one, you think if they're all truly the same being, one would hear about it and then the others would just know. Like maybe they're all telepathically, psychically linked because they're all the same person. But no, once their souls are split, they act like their own individual people. Some get slightly different personalities than each other, and some like go to war with each other, turn on each other. And the fact that one Chucky got told what the truth was by Tiffany, and then the rest of the Chuckies don't know and they don't turn on Tiffany like that one was going to, it's like, they gotta be different, right? They gotta be. They just gotta be. I don't know. I want to believe that possibly the real Chucky was the one that went to the doctor and was told Dembala betrayed him. But would that mean that we didn't actually see the real Chucky at all in Cult of Chucky? If Stitchface Chucky wasn't the real Chucky because he hopped out into the girl and then hopped into another doll and then split, put his soul in the girl and doll, then is it possible the one inside Nika is the real one? Because maybe it's weird to have a Chucky movie without the Chucky in it, which is why I'm trying to make this work. Again, most people think it doesn't matter. They're all the same guy. It's all the same soul. But again, like I said, my brain works differently. I got like tism or something. I'm trying to... But if the one that's possessing Nina is the real one... Huh. I don't know. Something still seems weird about that. No, I just remembered the movie. It couldn't be the real one because he didn't do a complete transfer. He did a split again, so it's just a split. So is it possible the one that split? I don't remember which one that was, though. I need to watch the movie again, but which one did it? Was it Clawhand Chucky Was it? It definitely wasn't, haircut Chucky. That one got fucked up by Andy. Was it the other one? Which one is the one that? Huh, it was either Claw Hand or Grave Chucky. It came out of the grave. The one arm Chucky. One of them must have been the real Chucky, and then get fixed up in time for the TV show. Or instead of fixing up the body he's currently in, he may have just hopped into another doll body. And then split himself back into the doll that he just left from. I don't know. I'm just headcanoning stuff just so I can say the real Chucky is still here. Because if the real Chucky was still inside Stitch's face, he's gone. It's implied Kyle fucking destroyed him. They don't say how, but they say she took care of it. That means she fucked it up and got rid of it. Which is strange that Andy kept it alive for 4 years, but maybe in some weird, fucked up way. It's like a frenemies type deal. Kept him alive, smoked weed with him, but also tortured the hell out of him. Strange. Very strange. I don't know if I ever understand. Another thing that's weird is when Chucky gets his head ripped off at the end of Curse, it's a normal doll head. We can see it's like styrofoamy or something. It's just like a normal doll. And when she stabs him, stuffing goes everywhere. Where's the blood? Where's anything? This is not right here. It's not right at all. And when he removes the makeup to reveal his Stitch face, he doesn't reveal every different scar. He's either he doesn't take it all off or what, because the scar on his hand is still, covered. There's a certain spot on his head. According to trivia from, I think it was IMDb or Wikipedia, according to the trivia, he has 8 notable iconic scars that we see in Bride and Curse, or not Bride and Curse, Bride and Seed, that are missing. Only 4 of his 8 scars are visible in Curse. So, is it possible the reason, because it's just a normal doll head, but every time before he got shot in freaking Bride, he bled. When he got chopped into 4 pieces by Glenn at the end of Seed, and then got that's 6 pieces, the 4 limbs, his head, and then the torso, that's 6 pieces. Whatever, he got chopped up and he bled. So why the fucking Curse does his head is a normal doll head, and why does he just have stuffing? Is it possible that this isn't the real original body? He only just put himself in there and it hasn't turned human yet? But if that's the case, why does it have stitches? Did he make a copy of himself with all the stitches, either all of them or only 4 of them? But if that's the case, why do that if you're just going to cover it up with makeup? I don't know. It's one of those little things that you're just not supposed to think about, I guess. Yeah, it's just supposed to ignore it, I guess. I could just say it's some Damballa magic. Damballa hid the blood so his plan wouldn't go awry or something. I don't know. If this is a copy, which is why it doesn't bleed, ignoring the fact that it has the stitches, even if it is missing some of them, this would imply he learned how to maybe do the soul split before the 6th movie. But it's implied in the 7th one he learned it after the 6th one, I think. Or maybe during. Maybe he learned about it right before, but didn't start doing the splitting plan until after the events of 6. I don't know. I think I think Seed of Chucky, the main bulk of the movie took place in 2004, the year it was made and came out in. But at the end, it says 5 years later, so we see Glenn and Glenda and the 2 baby bodies all, grown into children. some point in between those 5 years, somehow Tiffany and Chucky made up. Tiffany decided to be a killer again and be evil and go with Chucky's schemes. I guess all the be good for Glenn nonsense didn't stick. Of course it fucking didn't. So, how much time in between, like when did Chucky and Tiffany make up and start doing this scheme of mailing Chucky to people he needed to settle beef with happen? Like when? Was it after Chucky strangled Glenn? And did Tiffany send the arm to him? Tiffany, did you get your own son killed? No, I thought you loved him. I don't know. They said Glenn was going to show up in the show at some point, but I don't know if it happened. It probably didn't. It probably didn't happen. Yeah, it definitely... I'm pretty sure it didn't, or else I would have heard about it. But it was supposed to happen. Meaning, he is still alive. I don't know why Chucky decided to strangle him. Maybe because he's not a killer, so he's like, fuck you, you're not my son. But when he chopped him up at the end of the movie, he was like, attaboy, kid. So he seemed proud, but he didn't want to stay a killer. He just wanted to get revenge on his dad. So we don't... It's still ambiguous, the fate of Glenn at the end of the movie. I'm just wondering how all this ties together. Did him and Tiffany make up and her in Jennifer Tilly's body start mailing Chucky dolls to people after that birthday party? Or were they working together in between that 5-year time gap at the end of the sea to Chucky? And one of the people he decided to mail himself, or for some reason only a piece of himself to. Oh my God, I think I figured it out. The reason why the head didn't bleed and why the body was full of stuffing was because it wasn't the entirety of the original body. It was just his head put onto a new body. Probably the bottom part of the head where you see all fleshy bits was covered over with more of that weird plastic stuff that was covering his stitches. And the rest of the body is like filled with stuffing because it hasn't fully merged with the head yet and became one, right? Maybe? I don't know, I'm just jumping to conclusions based on little evidence, just me making shit up. Because I'm trying to figure out if she was mailing Chucky to people, when did that, because we see that's still his arm at the end. It's bloody, it's got a bone stump coming out of the shoulder. Chucky isn't one of those franchises where you can just ignore stuff from the previous movie. Continuity matters here. They made damn sure of that. Everything is still connected. You would think that the Andy era from the first 3 movies would be done and over with once they went on to the Bride era. But no. Andy comes back and we actually see Andy and Tiffany finally interact with one another. Which is like, holy crap. Never thought that would happen. Then it happens. Because you think those 2 separate parts of the franchise are so far disconnected. But no, it's all still connected. Everything's connected. Continuity matters. They tricked us into thinking it was a reboot with Curse when it was, promoted. Then, plot twist. He's still Stitchface underneath there. He's just got makeup on. Because he's still connected to Bride and Seed. It's all connected. Tiffany possesses Jennifer Tilly in Seed. And we see her in Jennifer Tilly's body in both Curse and Cult and the TV show. And she's pretending to be someone else. And when someone says, you look like Jennifer Tilly, it's like, yeah, I get that a lot. So she's in Jennifer Tilly's body. Sometimes going under a fake name to pretend to be someone else. But then other times, like in the show, she's just being Jennifer Tilly. It's all still canon. Everything's still canon. So I'm trying to figure out how the end where he's strangling Glenn fits into all this. Did Glenn die there? He was supposed to show up in the show. So, no, but he didn't show up in the show because the show got canceled. So, will he show up in the next movie? Will he? And why would, I thought Tiffany loved the kids. Why would she give Chucky's arm to kill Glenn if she cared about it? Unless the psychopath in her took over and she stopped caring about Glenn because he's not a psycho. We'll never know. I think I've rambled long enough. It's been like 40 minutes. That was my rant about Chucky. See you guys next time. Peace.